Hello, good afternoon. We're gonna continue our journey to making our backend framework in Rescript. This is where we left off a couple days ago. Yeah, let's get it rolling. Okay, Tugi, and let's do npm run. Not the build and generate. No, rest. I think it's rest.build actually. Rest. No, I forgot. I completely forgot. Package.json. We want to do this one. This is what we want to do. npm run Dookie. There you go. Nice. 104 milliseconds. You see that speed? You see that speed? That's speed, bro. Okay. And now we want to do node. Do we have like a nodemon? Could we do nodemon? Do we have a nodemon installed? I do have a nodemon installed. That's actually really good because I can do nodemon source, I think it's called, and then it's reshard.rest.mjs, right? Yes. Okay, there you go. So now we should do, if we go to this side and do maybe Bruno, no, maybe we do actually want to do localhost 3000, not 3000, it's 3031. Yes. Okay. So what we have here is a basic server. So now we want to start building the actual wrapper. Right. This is where the hard part starts, right? Let's think of kind of what we want to achieve, right? I kind of want the DX API, right, to be very similar to Express, but with returns, right? So instead of using, how it's called, rest.send, like Express does it, we're gonna do it to expressjs.org.com. Let's check a very simple example. So they rule rest.send, and I want it to be return. So how should that look on Rescript, right? So I would want to make something like let app equals let's do my server, right? And what does my server receive, right? That's kind of the question that we want to ask. Maybe we want to create a root, right? So it will be like let root equals, let router maybe, router. Oh, something fell down. Give me a second. Sorry. That's what having a cat is sometimes. Okay, so we want a router, and maybe we want to make something like my router, right? Let's do pp poo router, right? Because it's reshard, and we are sharding the router, and so we pp poo the router, and then what do we want to send here, right? That's the question. I'm thinking that we maybe want to send two things, right? One is an array of roots, right? So we might have something like a root, and then we actually send a direction, and then we send a handler, right? So the regress return hello world, right? And then we send another, and on the router we send another thing here for the middleware. So we have like a middleware array, right? Middlewares, right? I'm thinking something like this, right? Is that nice? That's what I don't know. Maybe instead of root, we can name it the method, right? So we get or post, which is very similar to what we have here on Express, right? Now the thing is that you would normally do a list of functions, and that would be all the middlewares. But making it a secondary array, I think will make it easier, right? Make it a bit easier. I'm thinking also maybe you probably wanted to like chain routes. So for example, maybe you want to have a router as part of a route, right? Something like let's do for example let API route, for example. It will be BB Boo router, right? And we'll do whatever, right? It'll be whatever. It doesn't matter. And you probably want to put this here, right? Right? Because maybe you want to like do composition, right? Like normal composition in which you're like building the parent and then you build it the child, and maybe you want to have like every API on this section, and then you want to have all the customer stuff on this section, and maybe all the front end stuff on this section. So you want to then put it all together in a big router. So I think this is actually what you want to do, but that means that our router function must return the same thing that our route returns. And I think that might be a bit hard to do on Rescript. Easy on TypeScript, but maybe not that easy on Rescript. So I'm thinking if there's another approach. Now, why it's gonna be hard? Because of the middlewares, right? You want to run another function on the result of every function. Now, if we have that like double, triple change or quadruple change, you might imagine the amount of layers that has to pass through in the stack call, right? It has to get the result and then pass that through the middleware, and then get the result and pass it through another middleware, and so on and so forth. Now, and imagine if every single chain has 4 to 5 middlewares, it can get pretty complicated, right? Pretty complicated. The stack call could get pretty complicated. But I think it looks nice, right? I think conceptually it looks nice. Also, you'd probably want to make it this a labeled prop, right? It'll be something like middlewares, right? Because you probably don't want to have it as something that you always do. And then I think maybe for good TX would be something like, if I do now router, right? You have something like app dot create server, right? It should immediately go to create server, right? It should then go to HTTP. No, it should go to app my server, right? Maybe reshard, right? Reshard dot server, and this should then go to http dot create server. I think that's how it will be pretty good. Yes, I think that's pretty good. I'm not sure about the middleware thing. Maybe we don't do the chaining. But it would be very useful. Imagine, for example, you break your routes in the like different blocks, right? Right, the customers is on this side, clients is on this side, and then you put a big router for all the customer stuff instead of having a giant router. You have all the stuff, which by the way is something you can do on Express. I'm kind of wondering, how does Happy do it, right? Happy Node.js. How did they do it? I really don't like their API because it's very configuration heavy instead of composition, if I remember correctly. But let's check something out. Query, where do they? That's the shittiest docs. Server options. Why is there not like a normal doc thing? Overview, routing. Server the root, and is this received somewhere, or do you have to create like a server and then create the root, kind of like a factory thing? At least they do have the return. I don't like that they do this thing, right? What about middlewares? Do they have middlewares? I believe they do have them. Middle They don't have middleware. Cookies. That should be a middleware, right? Jesus Christ. They don't have middlewares. Azure middle has more built-in from the core. That sounds worse. Body parts and yada. But what if I want to build a middleware, right? Plugins extensions. Okay, we'll see what a plugin extension does. Creating a plugin. It's a middleware, but you name it differently. I don't know, this is the Express one, or this is the actual one. Server decorate? Jesus Christ, is that ugly? No, okay, maybe I don't want to get any inspiration from this, guys. Okay. Maybe we should also think what's our return type for the root and also for the router, right? I think that's something that we need to put a lot of thought into. Because if they are supposed to return the same thing, but receive different things, maybe they should return, and that's the really hard part, right? Maybe PP Poo router should flat map whatever it's over here, right? Maybe I'm thinking something like this, right? The router actually, like this function actually does nothing, right? It just, whatever you put it into, it converts it into like an object. So let me give you an example. If you do get, right? Imagine you do get, and this will output something like this, right? An object that's gonna look something like this. Root, and then it's gonna be whatever, right? Whatever, yes. Then it's gonna be a handler, which is gonna have a function that does whatever. And then we have a middlewares, a list of middlewares, right? Middlewares, right? Which is gonna be an array of middlewares, array of functions, right? And so when we do maybe it should return an array of this, because if we always return an array, it might make it easier for us to make the same return for a router than for a root, right? If they always return an array. And so this is my idea, right? Right, imagine we have this is what get returns out, and maybe we should also do method, right? Which is gonna be get, right? It's gonna be something like this, right? Right, something like this. This is gonna be our imaginary object. And if I do post, right? Post is gonna be very, very similar. So it'd be the same thing, but right. But instead of this, it's gonna be post, right? And so what does our pp function does? It's going to join all of our arrays that are received here. So it, remember, it has an array of functions, right? So what it's gonna do is that it's maybe we should have also something like for example, the router maybe should have also its root. So it should have like a root, maybe path, that would be the better name, path instead of root. And path should be also in a string, right? So we can say maybe this is for customers, right? Customers, right? And so what pp does is that it grabs all of the roots, adds them into a big array. So it's just going to join these two, for example, right? Right, something like this, and it's going to append this string, right? So it's gonna maybe put it over here, right? I think I fricked up there. It's gonna put it over there, and it's gonna add all this middleware into here. right? You see? Is the idea? I don't know if you see the idea, but I think it's gonna work. Maybe if we code it, it's gonna make a bit more sense. Okay, let's try coding. Okay, I think I have a clear idea of what I want to do. Okay. Okay. Let's think it through, okay? Do we have already incoming message written? We don't have incoming message typed yet. Okay, and we need that information, I think. Or maybe not. Maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. We just want to write the wrapper for the methods, right? Let's go like from the very beginning, and we're gonna build from that. So let's do something like let method equals let's do, should it be called method? How do Express calls this, right? Guide API reference, maybe. Of course, yes. Let's do get. Okay, that's not useful at all. Express.json, request, response. That's, I don't know, bro. Okay, fuck it. Let's call it method, and should we call it root or method? I think maybe it would be better to call it root, and then we receive method, and this we're querying it for a very important reason, because that way I can create a single root function, and then the other ones are just going to be the root call with a method. It's gonna be much simpler to do it this way. And then we do path. I think that's not how it works here on. It should be okay. Let's do something. So let's do just a string. I think this is how it's called, as we've done in Rescript. Or is it not? I forgot, honestly. Could you do method string? Yes, that's how it's done. Perfect. Path a string, and then we have. I'm not sure if this is how it's done, by the way. How do we do it in HTTP? We did this because we're just writing the normal type, but I think normally you would want to do like this. Okay. Path string, and then what does it receive as a second parameter? Middlewares, right? Do you want to add a middleware to every path? Maybe you want to put it as a named middlewares, and it's gonna be maybe a question mark, and for now it's gonna be of type let's do string array. I think this is how you do it. This is not how it's done. I'm not sure you want to parse when looking at a tilde. Let's check the docs. I forgot how to do this. API. Let's do labeled for arguments. Yes. Label arguments x and y. As r. Optional label arguments. Yes. Should I not type it? Maybe I should not type it. Okay, this is good. Empty record. Right, I'm not returning anything. That makes sense. Could I actually do this? Is it backwards? Is it this way? I think it is, yes. Okay. What if I now return? No, I don't need to do a return, sorry. Hello world, right? For example. This is not how it's done. It's very evident this is not how it's done. Okay. Unused. Oh, you know it's unused. Okay. That's good, that's good. Did it rebuild it though? It did. That's really good. Okay. Okay. Let's remove, let's close this. Let's close this again. Okay. That's actually really good. Really, really good. We're moving forward. Okay. So now, what do we want to return? That's kind of what we want to ask. And we want to make a type, I think. So it's a type of root, and that is equal to an object that returns a method, which is a string. Is this how you write a type? I'm not exactly sure, but I'm gonna hope that's how you write a type. Method is a string, and then handler is a function that receives. For now, let's just do this. It doesn't matter. I think you have to do this in unit. And maybe we can put rec and res. And we call it A and B. Okay, that's good. And what we said we needed? Method, handler, and middlewares, right? Middlewares, which is going to be probably an array of this, right? It's going to be, maybe let's do something else, right? Let's do type handler. What is type handler, right? It's going to be a B of unit. That's going to be a handler. It should probably return something, but we are not yet there to type what a handler returns. And now, what does middleware return? It's an array of handler, right? It's an array of, oh, Jesus Christ. It's a handler array. Is that not how you write arrays? Array. That's the array object. How do you type an array? That's great. How do you type them? Jesus. Docs. Language features, Java's interrupt, language manual maybe. Headers, type, tuple, records, object, variants, pipes, modules, attributes, decorators. How do I do this? How do I type it? Ah, the comma, of course. Yes. Did you forget something? Maybe I did. Let's check the docs, right? Record, maybe? So this is kind of what I want to do, right? Type person, type root, method string. I think it's because this is not how you do it. I'm sure if I do this, it's gonna work. Unbound parameter A. Okay. Is that not how that's typed? Let's do HTTP, because I'm sure I typed something similar here. Yeah, it is like that. Let's maybe not do this for now. Unbound parameter A. Probably should use it then, right? Unused stuff. Perfect. Okay, this is working. That's good. Okay. So we have a method, handler, our middleware. Do you need something more? Yes, the path. So unit path, which is a string. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now this should return a root. Okay. And now I want another code block over here. And you want to return method. I think you just need to do method, right? Does this work on Rescript? I think it does. I think it does work on Rescript just by putting it there. And then you want to do method, path. Oh yeah, you want handler too, right? Obviously. So you want handler, which is of type handler, obviously. And then you put the handler here, obviously. And then you just return the malwares. Right. Did you forget a comma? Yes, I did forget a comma. Right. Is it array of handler? Is that how it's done? Several times. I guess it's not done like that. How do you define an array of something? List. Do you type? Should I just do list? Let's try something. Right? What if I do? If I do here handler, right? But this thing could be undefined, right? So you need to do dot right. Option, right? So I want to do its middleware's option dot get or Jesus Christ, get or I don't know, just this, right? Shouldn't that work? Why doesn't that work? This pattern matches values handler defined as unit, right? Because this is not unit. I guess this should do the trick. Okay, so that's not working, it seems like. Let's maybe not have it like this for now. Okay, let's just not. Okay. Okay, that works for now. And we need to figure out how to do an array of something. So what I'm thinking is I can do let x of handler equals unit, right? This type construct handler cannot be found, right? Because I need handler, right? Let y of type handler equals the same freaking function. And now let's do unit cannot be found. Why can't unit be found? Unit can't be found. I can return unit. What if I don't send anything? Should be annotated as so record content, right? Unit. Why can't I return unit? The value unit cannot be found. What if I do something like this? Is that gonna work? No. Let's do unit. Indicates an absence of specific value. There's only a single value, nothing. Okay. But it is a primitive, right? So I should be able to return it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. Google the value of unit can't be found. I don't get it. Should I just do this? Oh, it should just work that way. Interesting. Yes, that works. Okay. It's interesting to know that this is unit, right? I think it's setter somewhere over here. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not reading very well, I guess. Okay, so that's resolved, and I want to do array of handlers, right? That r of h equals x and y, right? What is this type, right? I want to know what type is this. So r of h is an array of handlers. So what I should be doing here, I should be doing array of handler, and this is actually a question mark. This pattern matches value, but I don't know what's up with that, but anyways, what does it say? The pattern matches values of array handler, but a pattern was expected with matches type option A. Should I do option of array of handler? Is that what I should do? Is that it? I think it is, yes. Okay, that's really good. Now, then I should do middleware get or, yes, that's good. An empty array, yes, exactly what I want. Now this should be array of handler, yes. No, sorry. Tuki, there you go. Okay. Array of handler, yes, that's really good. Okay. So we have a root completed, that's really good. You might not see the image quite yet, but it's about to get immediately clear. So if I do now, let me think this through. Let get equals root, for example. Maybe I should put in a module. Well, but reshard is our module, right? Reshard is our module, so no need to put it inside a module now. Get should be just a method of get. Easy. Yes. Post should be root of post. Let put should be a root of put. Let, what is the other one? Delete should be a root of delete. And let option should be a root of option. I think these are all right. Do I have any other one missing? HTTP methods. list. There you go. Get post put delete patch. Right, patch. Let's put it over here. Let patch. I don't know if you can hear, but there's like a siren outside my house. How annoying. Jesus Christ, please shut the fuck up. I live in front of a police station, so they often make noise. No, I already have options, but it's not options, called options, which is really good to know. Okay, and this should be an S. Perfect. Now I gotta connect and trace. I've never heard of those. I've never used them, but I'm gonna put it still. Connect, and the other one is trace. Maybe I should just. Oh Jesus Christ. Sorry. And now I'm gonna trace. And now I'm gonna do is trace. Perfect. Rah. Okay. This is really good, because now we can do a couple of really cool stuff. For example, if we do a post of, and now we immediately ask, what's my path? Oh, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good. So let's do first. Let post test is equal to post, and what am I asked? I'm asked for the I'm asked for my path, so it'd be something like this, test, right? And then I'm asked for a handler, which is really good, which I can just do this for now, I guess, right? I'm not sure what you want me to do. I think we have one more parentheses than we actually need, and that's really good. I think this looks really nice, right? Now if I console.log post test, what do I get? I have this thing right here, right? Really good. All right, this is really good. This is really good. Now there's something here, is that we don't actually want to return a root. We want to return an array of root, right? Remember why? Because we want to then flat on the router, and so we want every root to be an array of roots with only one element. That way we can put another router inside a router as a root. It's gonna be crazy, but it's gonna work. Array of root. I immediately see that this is pretty long. Of course, we should just do Tuki and then Tuki. This should work perfect. Now I think, if I remember correctly, that Rescript has a formatter. Rescript FMT. No, Rescript help. I don't have any Rescript. MPX Rescript format. Yes, there you go. This is for another library I was building. So let's do reshard. Yes, that's good. Okay, now let's run this again. Okay, and let's maybe do a format, by the way. Yeah, I forgot. Res FMT, which is gonna be Rescript format source reshard dot res. No, res. Ah, Jesus Christ. Res. Come on, bro. Okay. I think this is good. Yes. And it did what we wanted to do, right? Moving this into 2 different lines. I think this is actually really good. It's chugging along. You see, we get an array of this stuff. An array. Really good. Okay. Now we want the router. Okay. And so, because we want the router, is going to be called let router. And maybe, do I want to put like the... Like, should I want to put something like, imagine when I create the router, do I want to make something like app.router and immediately get like a function thing, kind of how we do here, the rec and the server response stuff? By the way, this means that we actually did ended up typing the rec, right? Or did we not? Create service, and we did wrote create service. Okay, that's really good. Okay, and then do something here, right? Maybe not, right? Maybe let's not get too complicated here. Okay, let router, and what does router receive? It receives an array of routes, and so it's going to be called routes, which receives an array of route. And then what does it also want? It wants middlewares, which it must be an option of an array of a handler, right? That's good. And I also want a path, so it's a path, which is an option of a string. And yeah, I think that's really good. Okay, and we probably want to do this thing like this, and then probably this, and maybe not. Maybe let's do a different approach. Yes, much better. And now, yes. We'll see later if the formatter approves. Okay, now what does this return? Let's think it through, right? Let's think it through. And it should also return, believe it or not, an array of routes, which is really strange but true. Yes. And now we want to actually want an array of routes. It seems so ridiculous, but it is. I want an array of routes, but that would be an issue when we... No, it's fine. Yes. We want an array of an array. So stupid, by the way, but yeah, we want an array of an array. It's not root, it's root. There you go. And what do we want to return? Then we want to go to each of our routes and then append our path, right? So so we probably want to do routes dot map, and then I want to do route, and then what do I want to return here? That's the big question, right? I want, except I have an array of an array, right? Because it's not actually a route what I have here, right? Because it might be a router that I'm returning. Let's do router routes, right? Router routes. And this is actually Subroots. I think that's a really bad name, by the way. I think that's a terrible name for it, but I can't think of something better, so I'm just gonna leave it as subroots. Now, I think I actually want to do subroots dot map again, but why isn't it suggesting, by the way? What is a thing subroute? It's a text? No, it's not a text. It can be. Oh, because I'm not actually right. I should rename this. There you go. Much better. Now, subroute, it's an array of map. Yes, that's exactly what I want. And yes, this is exactly what I want, but I don't want actually to return the root. And I actually want a flat map. Flat map, yes. I want a flat map. I want a flat map. I do want to return this, yes. But what do I want to send back? I want the same root object, actually. I want to send the same root object, but I want to append the path and the middleware, right? So basically method should be root.method. That's good. I want to send path, and this is the important part. I want to do path dot get or string. Can I do plus? Should it be do plus? I think it's plus plus, right? Plus root dot path. Yes, that's good. That's really good. And why do I have a whole bunch of stuff here? Why though? Ah, I see. I gotta do this. Get or cannot be found. Why not? But path is labeled param. Can I not get parent things from a lambda function? I thought you could. I'm very confident you could. Path is an option of string. Yes. So there you go. It's right. Okay. That's good. Okay. And now we need handler. Handler doesn't change, by the way. Not that I know of, so it's fine. Handler is just root.handler. That's good. And then middlewares. This is where the important part comes from. And I think there should be like a way to do this. Maybe it's like an array destructuring. Yes. Can you destructure a list? Yes. But that is a list, not an array. Maybe I'm not actually thinking of this structuring. Maybe I'm thinking of some other name. But we'll see. Okay. Maybe we can do something like this. Concat many. I actually do want concat many. Concat. So array, right? Let's check what array, from a compare length, copy within, fill to end. because I want to concat two arrays. Shift is sorted, sort, splice to splice, and shift. Concat, yes, there is a concat. Interesting, interesting. So I actually want to do concat. There's gonna be middlewares get or is gonna be an empty array, right? And this should be concat, yes, root dot middlewares. Yes, 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 yes. I think this works. I think this is going to work. I cannot believe it. I think it's. I'm surprised how fast I was able to get this going. I really am. I think it really speaks to how good Rescript is. No, router. I just need. Let's do an example. Let customer root, for example, and I'm gonna do here something like get and let's do just whatever, right? Okay, yes, and then let's do post, right? You know, let's do maybe get ID, right? And that's it, right? Let's just write those, and now let's do let. Let's just do that. Okay, and let router equals let's router. Okay, okay. And let's do router. And what the masked first is an array of roots. Why is it asking for an array of